In the heated arena of American politics, words are the weapons of choice. But when those words are chosen carelessly, wielded with the sole intent to wound, they can inflict lasting damage on the very fabric of our nation. Sadly, this type of venomous rhetoric has become all too common, particularly when it comes to discussing former President Donald Trump. Recently, Texas Representative Jasmine Crockett launched a blistering attack on Trump, labeling him a thug. Such incendiary language does little to advance meaningful dialogue. Instead, it serves only to deepen the chasm that divides us, pushing us further apart when we should be seeking common ground. To call Donald Trump a thug is not merely to disagree with his policies or question his style. It is a calculated attempt to demonize him, to paint him as inherently dangerous and unfit for civilized society. The term thug itself is loaded with racial baggage, often implicitly and sometimes explicitly, conjuring up images of young black men perceived as aggressive or threatening. This type of coded language has no place in our political discourse. By resorting to such inflammatory rhetoric, Crockett and those who echo her sentiments reveal their own intellectual bankruptcy, their inability to engage in substantive debate. The consequences of this toxic discourse are far-reaching. When we reduce our political opponents to caricatures, when we demonize and dehumanize them, we shut down any possibility of meaningful dialogue or compromise. This type of name-calling creates an us versus them mentality that poisons the well of our democracy. It breeds resentment, fosters distrust, and ultimately makes it impossible to address the very real challenges facing our nation. We are a nation divided, not by ideology alone, but by a fundamental breakdown in civility and respect. It is time to reject the politics of personal destruction and embrace a more civil and respectful public discourse. We must hold our elected officials accountable for their words and demand better. Let us remember that we are all Americans, united by a shared commitment to the ideals of liberty, equality, and justice for all. We may disagree on policy, but we must never lose sight of our common humanity. It is time to lower the temperature, to listen to one another with open hearts and minds, and to work together to build a stronger, more united nation. The future of our democracy depends on it.